with some breaking news coming in. Aramco warns of oil crisis, of catastrophic consequences if the Strait of Hormuz remains blocked. Oil markets at risk, says Aramco CEO. Let's go across to Hina, my colleague, who's joining us in the broadcast with more details. Shipping must resume. If the Strait of Hormuz remains blocked, then it is going to have catastrophic consequences. That's what the CEO of Aramco has said.
Absolutely. And if it has come from Aramco, we have to take it very, very seriously, because as far as Aramco is concerned, it's world's top oil exporter. And in fact, the point that has been made is extremely important, because disruption at the Strait of Hormuz is still continuing, even as US President Donald Trump, Swati, has indicated that the war might end soon. You also have a reaction coming in from IRGC suggesting that Iran is even ready for this war, for a longer duration. Even if it goes on for about 10 years, they are well prepared for it. So amidst all of this, nobody really knows what is going to really be happening. Amidst all of this, now some important points, in fact, have been made by Aramco CEO during the earnings call, wherein he has said that global inventories of oil are at a 5-year low. And this crisis, in fact, is because of, what we are witnessing at the Strait of Hormuz, from where the transportation of oil as well as gas happens from the Middle East to the entire world. He has said there would be catastrophic consequences for world's oil markets, and the longer the disruption goes on, the more drastic the consequences for the global economy are going to be. And that is precisely the reason why the crude oil prices have been going up, even though, last night there was a dip in the oil prices thanks to the statement by US President Donald Trump. We're seeing the impact on stock markets as well. So clearly, if this goes on, it's not a great news for the world. And this is not something that even Trump would like to see, whose stated motto is to make America great again. So if the world suffers, America can not really remain a great country.
Absolutely. Hina, thank you for getting us the details. Now, Donald Trump also said that if the oil shipments remain blocked at the Strait of Hormuz, then they will hit Iran 20 times harder. Listen in.
Continue Operation Epic Fury. We're also focused on keeping energy and oil flowing to the world. And I will not allow a terrorist regime to hold the world hostage and attempt to stop the globe's oil supply. And if Iran does anything to do that, they'll get hit at a much, much harder level. I will take out those targets that were easy and that I mentioned just before. We'll take them out so quickly, they'll never be able to recover, ever. If they want to play that game, they better not play that game. In the long run, oil supplies will be dramatically more secure without the threat of Iranian ships, drones, missiles, nuclear menace, or anything. So the Strait of Hormuz is going to remain safe. We have a lot of Navy ships there. We have the best equipment in the world, inspecting for mines. Again, most of their ships are down at the bottom of the sea. But we will hit them so hard that it will not be possible for them or anybody else helping them to ever recover that section of the world if they do anything. In recent years, the regime and its terror proxies have launched attacks on hundreds of commercial vessels. We're putting an end to all of this threat once and for all, and the result will be lower oil prices, oil and gas prices for American families. We've done that. We've done it. We brought it very low. This was just an excursion into something that had to be done. We're getting very close to finishing that, too. In the meantime, during this brief disruption, the United States is offering political risk insurance to any tankers operating in the Gulf. So we're putting up risk insurance. We'll perhaps go alongside of them for protection. We don't think it'll be necessary. If it is, and if they do anything, the price will be incalculable. It will be so great that they will have wished they never did it, because you have to keep the straits flowing. With all of that, it affects other countries much more than it does the United States. It doesn't really affect us. We have so much oil. We have tremendous oil and gas, much more than we need. We have Venezuela now as our new partner, great partner. They've worked out so wonderful. We're working with the administration, the president, and it's a massive source of oil, gas, everything. But in a very good position, but very unfair to other parts of the world, like China as an example. I mean, we're doing this for the other parts of the world, including countries like China. They get a lot of their oil through the straits. So we're doing this. We have a very good relationship with President Xi in China. I'm going there in a short period of time. And we're protecting the world from what these lunatics are trying to do, and very successfully, I might add. We're also waiving certain oil-related sanctions to reduce prices. So we have sanctions on some countries. We're going to take those sanctions off till this straightens out. Then who knows, maybe we won't have to put them on. There'll be so much peace. But when the time comes, the U.S. Navy and its partners will escort tankers through the strait if needed. I hope it's not going to be needed, but if it's needed, we'll escort them right through. The Strait of Hormuz is going to remain safe. We have a lot of Navy ships there. We have the best equipment in the world, inspecting for mines. Again, most of their ships are down at the bottom of the sea, but we will hit them so hard that it will not be possible for them or anybody else helping them to ever recover that section of the world if they do anything.
And now, as Donald Trump warns Iran on Hormuz, Macron has announced a mission, which is Hormuz Security Mission. This is a move to secure global energy route. France plans naval mission to reopen the Straits of Hormuz. According to the French president, French Navy is going to escort ships, and France will guard the oil route in Hormuz. France is going to deploy warships from Cyprus and expand their naval residence in the Middle East. Let's go across. A stranger is joining us on the broadcast with more details. The entire world is focusing on this little stretch, the Straits of Hormuz. Donald Trump says we're doing a favor to the world. They need to appreciate that, especially countries that are heavily dependent on Straits of Hormuz. But if it remains blocked, then Iran will have to face the consequences. Macron has announced a move to secure the route and also ensure that the supply of oil continues. The oil continues to flow in the market.
Yes, it's not going to be easy, of course, because the Straits of Hormuz, if the Iranians have batteries dug in or they have drones and missiles, anti-ship missiles, then naturally it is going to be a challenge, because it's one thing to have escorts, whether by the French Navy or the American Navy, but think of the ship owners. The easiest target in the world is a tanker. So all it requires is one shot. And if it hits, then it's in flames. And that worries people a lot. So naturally, people are worried. Do they want, the ship owners that is, do they want to risk their tankers? That's the question, actually. So how escorts can help? They can help, certainly. They have always helped. But in this case, the straits are so narrow. If the Iranians actually have forces there on the other side, on the ground, it can be a difficulty, it can be a challenge. But of course, if the French, the Americans are there and they can help, it will help perhaps. So we'll have to see how it works out, because it's a serious issue.
Right.
China, India, countries like that, all dependent on petroleum. The French are less dependent, because 80% of their electricity needs, for instance, comes from nuclear power. Of course, cars and all that are there. So we'll have to see how the Americans and the French and others deal with this.
To secure the global energy route, which you're saying is going to be challenging. Thank you very much, Srinjoy, for getting us the details. With that, we're slipping into a short break.